Hi everyone, it's Emma here. I've come on to do a video all about final meeting preparation and doing your wedding toolkit. This video will be quite long, so make sure you've got some time set aside, but it is super useful as we'll be going through your wedding toolkit in a lot of detail. So what all the tabs are for, how to fill it in, what information we need, and most of all why it's important to us. Your final meeting toolkit is what you will email over to your wedding coordinator a week before your final meeting, and it's what we use to create your event sheet. So it has pretty much every piece of information on there that we will need to be able to run your special day. So that's why it's so important. So to find your final meeting toolkit, you can access it from one of two pages on our website. Neither of them are visible just by going to the website, so you do need the link. That's the URL for the final meeting prep one. If you want to screenshot it or take a picture, you will get an email inviting you to your final meeting to book your appointment, and this link will be in that email, so you'll be able to access it through there. The other page that it's visible on is this one, the Wedding Goodness page. Again, you need the direct link, which is just wedding-goodness. So that's how to find it. Both toolkits on both pages are exactly the same. Then it doesn't matter which one you download as long as it's the most recent, and both of those are. So just make sure you re-download it if you perhaps downloaded it 6 months ago or when you booked or something. Download the new one and you can transfer most of the information across into the new one. So on the final meeting preparation page, you've got lots of useful bits that you will need, but there is the link to download your final meeting wedding toolkit. So when you click the button, it will download a file. You should see it in a download bar. If not, then it'll be in your download file folder. Just open it up and it will open up a spreadsheet. I can't do that because it won't work on screen record. So I've opened up one in a browser up here so that I can still see, that we can still see it on the screen record. But do open it just as usual. Open the file in Excel. It will work on Google Sheets and it will work on Numbers for Mac. It looks slightly different on each one. The formatting isn't quite perfect, but yeah, it should work. If you're having any issues, please speak to your wedding coordinator and we will either send you the file direct to your email or send it in a different file format, something like that. But yeah, don't copy it and try and create your own, because this one does pull in a lot of information. There's a lot of formulas hidden inside it. So that's why it's important to fill in our version. So this is what it looks like on the home page. If you can't see everything, just zoom out a little bit, but we have made it so it should fit most screen sizes. Don't worry on your version about clicking in boxes and deleting things that you shouldn't, because you shouldn't be able to. We've locked most of the cells and only the ones that you need to complete are editable. So don't worry too much about deleting stuff. So the first thing to do is fill in your names at the top there and your wedding date. That was mine, so I'll pop it in, and my husband's name, my actual husband's name. And so pop that in because it pulls it through to the other pages. Here at the top, you do have a link to the Wedding Goodness page, which is where you'll find a lot of the useful information. The other tabs at the bottom do have a button that links to that page if there is one. So this one just takes you to the Wedding Goodness page, and the other ones have got a more specific button. So if there's one that applies, it will be up here, and you can just click on, on your version, you'll be able to just click on the actual button itself. So this is just about your toolkit. Pretty much says everything I've just gone through. But yeah, that's just the welcome page and how to fill that in. So the first tab, and the tabs are all at the bottom here, and they are in a kind of logical order for your day. So the first one we come to is the supplier list. This one is for you to complete, and it's for all your suppliers that play a big part on your wedding day. So we don't really need to know about kind of where you got your guest book from or those little things, but all the important ones. So photographer, videographer, cake maker, venue dresser, florist, DJ, those big ones, make sure they're on here. It's also really nice if you do put your wedding dress shop and brand and also suit hire, because if we write a blog on your wedding after we've got your photos back, it's really nice for us to be able to say where the dress and suits were from. So you can pop those on, but they're not the key ones. So you just put their business name, the contact name of the person you've been dealing with, a contact number, preferably a mobile number, an out of hours one for contact on the day, not just the shop or business number. The items supplying, so that might be bridal bouquet, 4 bridesmaids bouquets and 12 buttonholes. It might be centerpieces, it might be pop-up photo booth, whatever they're bringing, pop that in there. The next column is the expected delivery. We only need that if they are delivering to Sparth House. Don't need it if they're delivering elsewhere. Then these last 2 columns are the most important ones for us. This one is PLI, which is public liability insurance. All businesses will have that. And then the PAT is your portable appliance testing certificates. Anyone that plugs anything in will have one of those. So that'll be like your DJ or photo booth. We need copies of both of those. Obviously not if the PAT, if they don't have it, but everyone should have the PLI. So you can mark in there, yes, when you've received a copy, and either you can send them to us all at once, which is probably easiest if you just collect them all in your emails and then send them over all at once, or print them out and give them to us, whichever is easiest for you. So just mark in there who has sent you their PLI. It's only if their equipment is here or their items are here that we need it. So yeah, just fill that one in. Okay, so the next tab at the bottom here is all about the garden apartment. If you are staying in the garden apartment the night before, this is for you to fill in. If you're not, you don't need to. So the first bit is the people that are staying with you in the night, so their name and any dietary requirements. It's just really nice to be able to get to know people by their first names and who is staying there before the wedding day. So that's the only reason we need their name. And obviously dietary requirements helps us to cater for them as well as we cater for everybody else. So if you are having additional guests for just the dinner, then you would pop them in this section, so their name and dietary requirement again. And then if you're having any additional guests join you for the morning of your wedding for breakfast, again, their name and their dietary requirement if applicable in there. So that one is quite simple. The next one is bridal party and ceremony. This is where it gets into a lot more detail. Both this one and the next one are probably the most important 2 tabs, so we'll spend a little bit more time on these 2 and they will probably take the most of your time. So this one, bridal party and ceremony. This first part is all about the reserved seating and who you would like us to make reserve signs for. If you'd like to do your own, that's absolutely fine, but if you don't, then we of course will do it for you. They're just little printed signs that we pop on each of the seats. So this bit here in the middle represents the aisle and then wedding couple at the end here. So this is the first row on the left of the aisle, first row on the right, and obviously second row and third row, these all be in the aisle seats, if you will. So the people you would like to reserve seats for are probably your most important family members, so parents and perhaps grandparents. Your bridal party, anyone that is walking down the aisle needs a seat reserved, because you don't want them not having a seat when they've got to the end and then having to walk all the way back to go and sit at the back because no one's left them a seat. So yeah, anyone that is walking down the aisle, and then perhaps anyone that is doing a reading during your ceremony or will be signing the register, give them a nice aisle seat or on the front row, just so that it's easy for them to get up to the front when it's their turn to do their bit. So in here, please write the name of the person, how you would like it printing on the reserve sign. So if you would like mother of the bride, father of the groom, etc., then put that. But if you would like their first names, then put that, and we will just literally copy everything you've put in here onto those reserve signs. So yeah, that's that bit. You don't need to fill all these spaces. You might just have the front row, or the front row and a couple seats behind, whatever works for you. Don't think you need to fill all these boxes because there's quite a lot there. And the same in that you absolutely do not need to reserve seats for everybody. There's no need whatsoever to do that. So that is the reserve seating. The next part is your ceremony music. This is the kind of typical setup for music. If yours differs slightly, just speak to your wedding coordinator and we will edit this for you and send you another version, or you can just pop it in the notes. But yeah, so that's the kind of typical format there. Your song choices need agreeing with the registrars beforehand, so make sure you've done that before letting us know your music choice, just in case it has to change for whatever reason. So the song title goes in this box, including the specific version. So if it's acoustic or a live version or a cover, pop as much information in there as possible. And then the artist in this box here. We use Apple Music and Spotify, so if it's on there, we'll be able to find it nice and easily. So have a little bit of a check. But yeah, so that's that bit. It's not too complicated. The next part is all about the procession. So that is who is walking down the aisle and in what order. So obviously the first person on the list would be the first person to walk down the aisle, then the next and the next. If two people are walking together, then put them in the same box. We'll know then that that means that they're going kind of side by side down the aisle. The entrance time in the song, you do not have to do this for everybody. We are more than happy to work it out for you because we know exactly how long it takes people to walk down the aisle, and we can kind of gauge it, even if that needs to change slightly on the day because someone's walking a lot slower than they normally would or a lot quicker. We can kind of be a lot more flexible with it. If you have a specific moment that you want to walk in, please put that one down and then we will work backwards from there. But if you're not too fussed about which moment and you're happy for us to pick a really nice moment, we're more than happy to do that for you. We'll listen to the song. We can even do it at final meeting or in the garden apartment. We can have a bit of a check with you, make sure it's all okay. But most brides will just say, no, you decide, you know best. And yeah, that gives us plenty of time to be flexible with it if we need to be and get you in that room at the most perfect moment. So you don't have to do that column if you don't want to. Any other information is things like perhaps they're in a wheelchair or they're unsteady on their feet. Perhaps they're really young and might not walk down the aisle on their own and we need a plan B. Anything random like that, pop that in that column there. The next bit is a new bit. This is the bridal party list. So we know who all your important people are. It's nice just for us to have first names of people and who they are in relation to you. It just makes it a little bit more personal, and when we need to go and find Dad, we know Dad's name, or when we need to find Maid of Honour's name, we know her name, and it just makes it a little bit nicer on the day that we're not learning people's names then. We've kind of got their name already. So you pop their name in and then their role or relationship to you. Then this column is really important if they need a buttonhole or corsage or other kind of floral accessory. You can pop that in here. More often than not, when your flowers get delivered here, your buttonholes and corsages will come along with that. It is far easier for us to put them on. We're experienced at it. We'll do it very well. So, and it's something we're more than happy to do. So if we've got a little checklist of exactly who needs a buttonhole, we can make sure all the right people are wearing one. And also with corsages or perhaps flower girls have got little accessories, we can make sure all those people that you've said need a buttonhole or accessory, we can make sure we've got that they've got them before the ceremony and get them on nice and neat and uniform for you. So the last bit here isn't about ceremony, but it is still bridal party, is your order of speeches. So you pop their name, their role or relationship to you, and the time needed. So you don't have to go with the traditional order in here. You can do whichever order you like. You can mix it up and do different people doing speeches. There's no need to stick to any kind of rule here. The time needed, we appreciate you might not have this information by your final meeting. We do allocate usually half an hour for speeches, more if there's more people, and less if there's less people, or you think that they're just going to stand up, say thank you, and then sit back down. But we will find this information out on the day if needed, because we appreciate most people may not have even written their speech by 6 weeks before. So yeah, if that's not filled in, don't worry too much. It is really useful if you can tell people who are doing a speech, please time yourself before the wedding so that the coordinators will know, be able to get that information from you on the day. So we will go and chat to whoever is doing a speech, which is why it's important. We've still got their name and their role, so we can go and find them on the day and then ask them if we need to. Yeah, so that's all about the ceremony and bridal party done. The next tab is your table plan guest list. So this one will probably take you the most amount of time to fill in. It's the most detailed, I think. Up here you've got a link to the table plan layout. So I will bring this up just to show you what it looks like. So this is the table plan layout. So imagine the doors are here. This is the entrance to the room. You've got your top table and then all the rounds. There's a bit of information up here on how to use this and how to number the tables. That is all you use this sheet for, just to literally number them. So it's usually 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7. If you're using these last two tables here, then the order will be slightly different. So yeah, just literally you can print this off. You don't even need to print it off. We'll have a version when you come for your final meeting. We'll pop the numbers on that sheet for you. Please don't write names around these circles. It's not clear enough for us to read, and it gets a bit messy and a bit tight over here. So this is what this tab is for. It's for all those names of guests. So this just tells you everything about the sheet and how to fill it in, but I'll probably tell you pretty much all of that anyway now. This is what we need to know, so the age of the guest and allergies and dietary requirements and things like that. So on each of the tables there is a space for you to write if your table has a name, so please don't delete this bit, keep that in, and then just write if you've named your tables after films or bands or gin or something like that, then pop the name of the table in there. If you don't have table names, that's absolutely fine, but it's a nice little touch to be able to do. So when filling in the top table, we fill it in as if we are stood at the front of it, looking directly at it with everyone sat behind. So you can imagine this is the big long table, everyone's sat here and you're looking at it from the front. So usually you've got bride and groom in the middle with parents or best men and bridesmaids at either side, however your family works. So this next row here, please put proper names in there as they will be on their name card. Don't put nicknames or anything like that. We need to be able to match them to a name card exactly as it would be on their name card. So yeah, put the proper names in there. This next row is to tell us whether that guest is an adult, an under 18, an under 12, an under 12 needing a high chair, or a baby not eating needing a high chair. If they're a baby and they don't need a high chair, then you don't need to put them on the table plan. We'll just make a note somewhere else that we need a bit of a space for a pram or a car seat, that kind of thing. So yeah, you can select. On the other version, you need to click in the box and then a little drop down menu will probably come up here. These have got the arrows in already, so you can select the guest, and then this final row here is for dietary requirements. If you're putting in an allergy, please put in if it's airborne or not, just because we need that information nice and early so that we can make the appropriate adjustments. So that's how you fill in top table. All the other rounds are the same. So again, space for the table name if there is one. And then you start the list with the person sat at 12 o'clock and then go down clockwise. So I'll just show you what that means. So 12 o'clock is as if you are looking into the room from the doors here. So 12 o'clock would be this person sat here, and so on. Then we go clockwise around the table. So that would be going down your list that way. So yeah, you pop in their name as it would be on their menu, their name card, the guest, whether they're an adult or under 18, under 12, etc., and then any dietary requirements. You do not need to use all the tables. In fact, please don't use all the tables. The fewer tables you have, the fewer table decorations you need, and the more space you have in the room. So just because we've got 9 tables, 9 rounds, please don't use 9 rounds if you don't need them. A good rule of thumb is divide your guest numbers by 10 and give or take that's roughly how many rounds you would have. Our rounds sit up to 10 people, so there's plenty of space on those tables. 8 is a really nice number, and if you work with that, and then due to different families, family sizes, that kind of thing, there'll be some that are more and some that are less. That's fine, but if you kind of aim for 8 to 10, you'll end up with the right amount of tables for your guest numbers. So yeah, that's this one. At the bottom, you shouldn't be able to click this on your version, but it totals everybody up. So you've got your table, top table, table 1, table 2, so on. How many adults, that will include the under 18 figure. How many children and how many babies are on each table. Then it will add them up here at the bottom. So if you think you should have 60 guests in total, but this is only adding up to 59, it means you've missed someone somewhere. So this is a good way to check that you've actually given everybody a place at a table, and then you can go back and see who you're missing, kind of thing. All weddings must complete this tab. It's so important. So take your time with this one and get it right. You can edit it if you need to change. Just go back into these and change them. But yeah, this one, I can't stress how important this one is for you. So that is the table plan guest list. The next one along is food and drink. Nice, easy one. This is all about literally the food and drink right the way through each part of your day. Again, there's a button up here which takes you to view the menus. This will show you the menus for canapes, wedding breakfast, evening food, the whole day. So they're all on that one place. So if you need reminding, then you can click here. So the canapes, you've got space to add up to 5 canapes. So pop them in. You can also upgrade to the sip and slide canapé selection, which are really exciting and brand new for 2023, so make sure you have a look at those. You can literally just copy and paste the menu choice into these boxes for however many canapés you're having. Your reception drink here, this is the drink after your ceremony during drinks reception. Included in your package is one choice. If you'd like to upgrade to a 50-50 drink split or a double drinks reception, then select 2 choices from the 2 boxes, but otherwise you just select 1. So again, this has got the options built in for you. So you've got your elderflower fizz, ever popular, all the other included choices, and then if it says upgrade, that's an extra charge, so those upgrades are in there for you. So I said just pick 1 unless you would like to upgrade, and then you can pick 2. Your wedding breakfast, again, just copy and paste the menu over into the spreadsheet. So you've got your starter, your main, and your dessert. Included in your package is 1 option, unless you've chosen to upgrade to choice menu. So just select 1, unless you've upgraded to choice menu, then you select 2. If you are upgrading to choice menu, please make sure you've spoken to your wedding coordinator at the earliest opportunity, as there's a different spreadsheet we need you to fill in that we need to kind of populate tailored to you. So make sure you let us know that as soon as possible. So in here you'd pop your starter. Don't worry about selecting a dietary option or anything like that. We'll do that. Just select what your guests are going to have, the majority of your guests. So again, starter, main, dessert in there. And then your children's meal. So children can either have half portions of whatever you're having, or they can have the children's menu. They all need to be on the same option. So here you'd put the children's starter, main, and dessert. Again, that's on the menu page. Your wine option. This is a drop-down menu, so you can select. You've got your house and then your 2 upgrade options, so you can select that there. And then your toast. You can select the included option or the upgrades there as well. So that's for your toast during the speeches. So that's your wedding breakfast, food and drink. Then the evening, here you'd pop in your evening buffet choice. So that might be Italian from the market food, or it might be the hog roast option. So pop that in there. There's loads to choose from, so make sure you have a good look at the menu to find your favourite. Then if you want to add on dessert options, again, they're on the menu page. Just copy and paste them into here. So you've got your things like your donut wall, your cookie bar, and s'mores station, that kind of thing. So pop them in there, whichever and however many you would like. So that is your food and drink in a nutshell. Nice fun one to do. Okay, so guest bedrooms. There's nothing for you to fill on here. It is a separate sheet because there's a separate one for different years that you're getting married in. So the link is just up here. So I will go to it and then you can see it. So this is for fully exclusive weddings only. If you're not fully exclusive, you don't need to do this. So clicking that button takes you to the bedroom breakdowns, which are also on the Wedding Goodness and final meeting prep pages anyway. Then you click the year of your wedding and it will download a bedroom breakdown sheet. So I can't open it because I can't show it you. So I'll open that at the end and then go through that then. The bedroom breakdown sheet lists everybody that's staying, the night of your wedding, their contact details, so that we can pop them on our system nearer the time and send them their payment links out if guests are paying for them. So yeah, that's the bedroom one, and I will open up that spreadsheet and show you towards the end of this video. And then the last one is the upgrades and extras. So these are things that aren't included in your package or might not be included in your package that you'd like to add. You can view the price list and details here on this button, but you can literally just put in a yes if you'd like to add it on. So there's the garden apartment in there if it's not already included. Here's all your drinks reception upgrades, canapes, your wedding breakfast upgrades, evening buffet, evening drinks. There's so much that we do. And then down here you've got things like your charger plates, post box, beer and prosecco pong, always a favourite. So yeah, you can add on there, and then we'll know what you would like to add to your wedding. So that is the toolkit in a nutshell. So hopefully I've explained everything. Okay, so I have now opened up the bedroom breakdown sheet. So if I just go back to the tab really quick. So you'll click this link and you'll be able to download your bedroom breakdown sheet. Make sure you get the one that relates to your wedding year. So here is what the bedroom breakdown sheet looks like. Like I said, it needs to be a separate sheet because there's different ones for each year. So here are the room numbers, and then this is the room cost. This is how many it sleeps in this column here. That's the absolute maximum. So make sure you're keeping your eye on that. So here you just put the guest's full name and guest two's full name, how many guests are in this room. So put 2A, 2C for adults and children, and then telephone number goes in this box here, and this is the most important one, the email address. Double check it before you send it us. So we need this email to be able to send them their payment link if your guests are paying for their own rooms. If you or the family are paying for the bedrooms, and this isn't as important, but we still need their names for their kind of welcome letter and everything like that. So please pop in the email here. Guests will receive an email kind of 7 to 10 days before your wedding date so that they can pay. Please type it, because these boxes are really small, but if they're typed we can just copy and paste the email into our other system. We can't read writing in these boxes, they're just too small. So do it online, save it, and then email it over to us, ready in time for your final meeting. So yeah, that's the bedroom one. Yeah, nice and simple, but again, only for fully exclusive weddings. You don't need to worry about that if you're not fully exclusive. Just a quick mention that the table plan as well, if you're on the party people, the Twilight package, you won't need this. You'll just need the ceremony, and then so your canapes for drinks reception, skip the wedding breakfast bit, and then an evening option is already included in the Twilight package, but if you want to upgrade it, then pop that down at the bottom, and if you want to add any dessert options on, pop them in there. So that is the wedding toolkit. Like I said, please let us know if you've got any questions. We'll be more than happy to help. So hopefully that has given you a really good insight into the toolkit, and you'll come to your final meeting having already emailed it over to us, and we'll have a really quick final meeting. So thank you very much. Bye bye.